Hi everyone, this is Aaron Sciascia. I am the current president of Asset. We wanted to try something a little new and actually give you some updates of using modern technology. So this is going to be hopefully something we can continue to do, a video newsletter, if you will. So where I actually want to begin is I want to introduce you to the executive board. So last week at our annual meeting in New Orleans, we had the announcements made of the winners of the most recent Asset election. The first announcement is that June Kennedy will be serving as president-elect. Our current secretary-treasurer is Jonathan Sum. Our secretary-treasurer-elect is Craig Wassinger. And our members at large are Angela Tate and Will Clark. And so we congratulate the new folks, and for those that have still been on the board for a little time, we're going to keep on working for you as best we can. And so what I wanted to lead into next is just to give you a quick summation about how the annual meeting actually went. So as far as the programming, Ellen Shanley, in her role as past president, she had a huge task. This was our 25th anniversary meeting, and so you expect amazing things to happen, and boy did they ever. Ellen did an amazing job putting together a great program from the Asset members alone, just on all of their wonderful case studies and scientific articles and even preliminary studies that have been going on. Great work across the board. But the other piece of it that actually what made it even better was the fact that we had a lot of involvement from a number of ASES physicians. So we had traditional lectures both from Dr. Romeo and Dr. Savoy. And then we also had a 14 surgeon panel that was moderated and even coordinated by Dr. Matson. It was wonderful just to actually get all of those folks in the same room. There was a lot of back and forth in a non-malicious way. It was great. They were given a random topic from Dr. Matson, and each person had 5 minutes to give their opinion about what they would do about that topic. And then the audience was allowed to chime in as well as the other panel discussants. It was great. One of the highlights from that discussion was that you got to see there's a lot of art in what we do, not just in what we do on the asset side of things, but the ASES members too. There's a lot of art to what they do. And so, yes, we're rooted in science, but we have the autonomy to actually get people better in a way that we feel is appropriate. And to see that there's, and I don't want to go as far as say there's not a lot of agreement, but there's certainly a lot of variation in the way that we approach similar topics and conditions. So we thank Dr. Matson incredibly for that. And also, to speak of Dr. Matson, he was awarded our Founders Award. And so he was actually the initiator of Asset, if you will, back in the day. He's the one who inspired Sarah Jackins to try to put something together similar to what ASES was doing. And Sarah attracted like-minded individuals, John Basti, Basil Bacchus, and as our founding members, but then also, some individuals that have been with us for quite a long time as well, along with them. And so we are very thankful for Dr. Matson and all of his efforts. We're very thankful just for his continued support, and I think he's well deserving of the Founders Award. Now, the other highlight from the annual meeting is we had a trio of keynote speakers. To start us all off, we had George Davies, so we had one of our own telling us about just the last 50 years of him as a clinician and just the roads he has traveled in regards to his thought process and where his interests have become. And it was great to actually see that. He summed up 50 years in 20 minutes, which was a feat in and of itself. But just the admiration and the respect we have for George, it was great to hear him stand up in front of us and be able to just convey that information. And it was fantastic for all of us. We also had George McCluskey and Richard Hawkins, but tell us about a little more intimate things in regards to their careers. Dr. McCluskey highlighted the fact that he has actually a family full of physical therapists, and his father was pivotal in that. And he said that the relationships that he had with those individuals early on is really what led him to developing the relationships he has today with the physical therapists he works with on a daily basis. And so it was a wonderful thing just to hear him say, and just to convey the admiration of the individuals that he has had contact with over the years. Dr. Hawkins took a similar emotional approach. He didn't really talk about orthopedics per se. It was more about his interactions with human beings and what he has learned from the world, how he perceives the world, and what he tries to get out of human beings he runs in contact with, and how he tries to better himself really on a daily basis. And so there was times that we were moved to tears, and there was other times we were laughing pretty good. So it was a wonderful time across the board with all three speakers, and we're beyond thankful that we had the opportunity to not only hear them, but that they took the time to come speak to us. And so a couple of business items that I want to end up with. First is that if you're not familiar, we have a mentorship program as part of Asset. And so that mentorship program is in place to help new members as well as existing members with a variety of areas. And one of those areas is one for the new folks to really get them ingrained in Asset and to make sure they don't feel like they're lost or that they just feel out of place. We're also there to help along with presentations as well as abstract development, just many different opportunities. And so Angela Tate oversees that. And we're at a point now where we had such a great year last year in regards to new members that we don't have enough mentors. So this is actually a call for mentors. So if you have any interest in wanting to serve as a mentor for Asset and for some new members, because we anticipate we'll get some more new members this year, then please reach out to Angela Tate. You can email her directly. The other area is that June Kennedy, with her new role now as president-elect, she is now the chair of the membership committee, just the way our bylaws are structured. And so it's going to be helpful to her in regards to busyness that she is going to have to step away as the current education chair, which means we need a new chair of the education committee. So if you have any interest in that, I'd like you to reach out to June. You can find her email under the member directory on the Asset website, and she can tell you all of the responsibilities and just the mechanics of how that committee works. And then hopefully we'll have somebody in place here relatively soon. And then the final thing to leave you with is that the board this past year has made some edits to the bylaws. We're going to send those out in the next few weeks. Once you receive them, I ask that you please take the time to go ahead and review them. And if you like what we're suggesting, then go ahead and please vote yes. If you do not like what we're suggesting, then it's certainly permissible that you vote no. We just ask that you give us a reason why in your response. That's all just to help us craft some better language. So that's where I'm going to leave you guys today. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll talk to you here in just a few weeks.